All names and details have been changed for personal reasons. Watch until the end to learn about yet another online scam tactic. Protect yourself and share this video with your friends so they don't fall victim either. My name is Margaret Turner. I'm 65 years old and I live alone in a quiet suburb just outside of Tucson, Arizona. I've been a widow for 9 years. My husband, George, passed from a heart attack just a week after our 40th wedding anniversary. The days got quieter after he was gone. Too quiet. My children live in different states, my grandkids are busy with their teenage lives, and most of my friends either moved away or were facing their own health issues. I had books, gardening, church on Sundays, but loneliness doesn't knock loudly. It just settles into the corners of your life like dust you stop seeing. One evening in December, I sat at my kitchen table with a cup of chamomile tea, and on a whim, I Googled dating websites for seniors. A few results popped up. One looked decent, silvahearts.com. It had testimonials from older couples, smiling faces, gentle colors. It didn't seem sleazy, so I signed up. I uploaded a picture from my niece's wedding and wrote a short bio. Widow. Loves crossword puzzles, classical music, and the desert sunset. I told myself I wasn't looking for love. I just wanted to talk to someone. Maybe even laugh. That's when Jonathan Miller messaged me. Jonathan's profile showed a silver-haired man in uniform. He claimed to be a colonel in the U.S. Army, stationed temporarily in Syria on a peacekeeping mission. His message was kind, respectful, and made me smile. Hello, Margaret. I hope this message finds you well. Your profile gave me a warm feeling, and I'd love to get to know you better. The desert has a strange beauty, doesn't it? His words were soft but confident, his grammar perfect. We started exchanging messages, then emails, then voice messages. Within a week, he was calling me honey and telling me how he looked forward to hearing my voice every evening. He said his wife had died 8 years ago in a car accident, and he'd never felt such a connection since, until me. I didn't feel young again. I felt seen again. I started brushing my hair more carefully in the mornings, even though no one was coming over. I wore lipstick again. I stopped skipping dinner. One day he said something that made my heart flutter. When I get back to the States in March, I want you to be the first person I see. I want to take you to the Grand Canyon and then ask you something important. In early January, he told me something that bothered him. His deployment was ending sooner than expected. He wanted to come home early. But military regulations, according to him, required a release clearance, which cost money unless he waited out the full term. He said, "It's embarrassing to ask, Margaret, but I'm stuck. My funds are frozen while I'm on deployment. The military pays us after return. If I could borrow $3,000 to cover the clearance, I could be with you by Valentine's Day." My stomach twisted. I didn't want to be a fool. But by then, we'd been talking daily for nearly a month. He had told me about his daughter. Shared photos of him at base. He knew my routine, my favorite authors, even my arthritis medications. I hesitated, then told him I'd think about it. He didn't pressure me. In fact, he waited 2 days before gently asking again. I would never ask if I had any other way, he said. So I went to the bank. I transferred $3,000 through Western Union to a military handler he named. Looking back, the name wasn't even American sounding, but I didn't think twice. I just wanted him home. He thanked me endlessly. Said I was saving him. Said he couldn't wait to hold me. After I sent the money, Jonathan became even more affectionate. He messaged me first thing every morning, called me his angel, and told me he was counting the days until he could wrap me in his arms. He said he booked a flight and would be arriving at the Phoenix airport in 2 weeks. I started cleaning the guest room. I even bought fresh towels and new bedsheets, even though he promised we wouldn't need separate rooms. But then, 3 days before his supposed arrival, I got a message that made my heart sink. "Sweetheart, I have a serious problem. Customs is holding me up in Turkey. They say I need to pay an exit fee for military personnel." I swear I didn't see this coming. It's $5,500, and I can't access my account from overseas. My hands shook. I reread the message a dozen times. I called my daughter, Rachel. I told her a friend I met online was stuck overseas and needed help. She instantly grew suspicious. "Mom," she said, "don't you dare send anyone money. This sounds like a scam." I got defensive. "He's not some stranger, Rachel. He's a military officer. A good man. He's not asking for thousands to buy a car, he just wants to come home." Rachel tried to convince me otherwise, but I'd already made up my mind. I told her I'd call her back later, then wired the money. Over the next few days, I noticed something. Jonathan stopped sending voice messages. His typing became less personal. He was tired all the time. Then came another excuse. "They've frozen my baggage at customs. All my military documents and cash are in there. They're demanding a clearance fee to release it. I hate this, Margaret, but I need another $7,000. By then, I had already sent nearly $9,000. This time, I waited. I told him I didn't have that kind of money. He started guilt-tripping me. "So you're saying I should stay stranded in a foreign country? After all we've shared. If the situation were reversed, I'd do it for you in a heartbeat." I cried that night. I didn't want to admit it to myself, but something deep down had shifted. His tone wasn't gentle anymore. It was cold. Demanding. I started Googling romance scam military Syria. The first result was almost a mirror of my story. Same uniform photos. Same wording. Same tactics. My heart broke. I called Western Union the next day. They couldn't reverse any of the transfers. I contacted the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. They let me file a report, but warned me recovery was unlikely. I had drained my savings account, and part of a small inheritance George had left me. In total, I had sent $24,000 to a man I never met. When I confronted Jonathan, or whoever he was, he didn't deny it. He simply wrote, "You're not the first. You won't be the last." Then blocked me on everything. I felt humiliated. Empty. Like I had to mourn not only the man I thought he was, but also the version of myself who believed in him. For weeks, I didn't tell anyone. Not even Rachel. I was too ashamed. I felt stupid, like a desperate old woman who should have known better. I replayed every conversation, every message, trying to see where I went wrong. But the truth is, he was a professional. He knew exactly how to say the right things. He used my loneliness like a lockpick. I stopped using the dating site. I deleted all the apps on my phone. I couldn't sleep. I'd wake up thinking I heard a message from him, only to remember he was never real. Just a carefully crafted lie. When Rachel finally came to visit, she could see it in my face. I told her everything. I braced myself for "I told you so." But she just hugged me, tightly, and whispered, "You didn't deserve this, Mom." None of it. She helped me file a police report. We sat together and submitted all the evidence, the screenshots, the wire receipts, the voice messages. It was enough to build a case, but not enough to catch him. These scammers use fake IPs, fake identities, fake everything. By the time they disappear, they're already working on their next victim. It took me months to feel okay again. The money hurt, of course it did, but the real damage was to my trust, my confidence, my sense of safety in the world. I stopped answering unknown numbers. I avoided Facebook. I even became afraid of kindness. But then one day, Rachel said something that helped me heal. "You're not dumb, Mom. You were targeted. Because you have a heart." And I realized she was right. So now I'm telling my story, not to get sympathy, not to go viral, but to warn other women like me. If a man online seems too perfect, he probably is. If he asks for money, even once, walk away. If his story is full of drama and delays, stop and verify. And never be afraid to pause and talk to someone you trust. I'll be honest, I still haven't dated again. And maybe I won't. But I have found a different kind of strength. I now volunteer with a local scam awareness group. We speak at libraries, senior centers, and churches, helping people spot the signs early. My story isn't unique, but the more we talk about it, the fewer women have to live it. If this could happen to me, a woman with a college degree, a full life, and decades of wisdom, it could happen to anyone. You're not weak for falling. You're strong for standing up again. If you're watching this and feel embarrassed because you've been through something similar, you're not alone. These scammers are ruthless. They study us. But knowledge is power. So please share this video, especially with your mothers, grandmothers, aunts, and friends. Let's protect each other. Let's speak up. And if you're a scammer watching this, I hope you get what you deserve one day.